Hi, we're gonna be playing qualia. Just really quick before we get into the rest of this, we've got a photosensitivity warning. There's flashing lights, flickering screens, moving patterns, so if you need, just click off, and that is the warning. But I found this game on Steam. This is a completely blind playthrough. I just saw the screenshots and decided, you know what, fuck yeah, we're playing this, because the aesthetic already looked great. Okay, there are no answers, only choices. Stanislaw Lem. Qualia is a short narrative game about thinking and robots. You should be able to complete one of the 6 endings in 5 to 10 minutes unless you spend additional time contemplating how your choices may reflect your individual opinions on the implications of semantics, philosophy of language and mind, theories of consciousness, and computationalism. Qualia. This is a game for humans. Please select all images with a cat to begin. Okay. Intellica, think happy. Welcome to the AMT, Applied Manipulation Turing Study. We greatly appreciate your participation in our research. Our team is dedicated to developing and deploying the most intelligent artificial algorithms in the machine learning field, but we like to call them our friends.
Welcome to the Applied Manipulation Turing Study. Telco is proud to explore new frontiers in artificial consciousness research. Today you are taking part in a historic study that will pioneer new advancements in machine learning. You will be performing the role of an evaluator. In this study, you will spectate 2 other anonymous participants as they answer a series of predetermined questions. You will then categorize the responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to be, to the best of your ability. For the test to provide valuable insight into machine intelligence, you must not know which conversational participant is a human. The AMT study is monitoring the ability of an AI to appear human. It is up to you to decide whether or not the participants are human or artificial. You have been specifically selected based on your ability to perform this task. We trust your judgment. Remember, this test is not a measurement of intelligence. We recommend judging the participants' answers to each question based on creativity, empathy, natural language use, ethical considerations, and relevance. You may take as much time to make your judgments as you need. Your participation in our research greatly assists our team in developing the most intelligent artificial algorithms in the machine learning field. Intellica thanks you for your participation. Every day is a new chance to think happy.
Okay. Today we brought you in as a volunteer participant in our newest adapted study. You may be familiar with the Chinese room, as well as the Chinese room. What?
What is the Chinese room? The Chinese room is an anti-AI thought experiment by philosopher John Searle. He attempted to disprove the strong AI hypothesis, which theorizes a computer could quite possibly have a mind identical to a human. What an idea! In the experiment, Searle imagines himself in a room receiving Chinese symbols. He follows a set of instructions to replicate them perfectly without actually understanding the language, leading the person outside to believe he is fluent in Chinese. Does a machine, like so, truly understand the conversation, or is it merely simulating the understanding? What do you think?
I mean, that is an idea. I mean, if you teach an AI that this specific thing means this, you are simulating understanding. I think He hoped to disprove the strong AI hypothesis, which theorizes that a computer could have a mind identical to a human if a human mind could be viewed as an information processing system, and everything that makes up a human could, in principle, be explained in mechanical terms. This opens the door to the opposite being true. Searle's experiment concentrated on a machine that follows instructions, represented by Searle himself. Alone in a room, he imagined being given notes written in Chinese. Well, I mean, AIs are literally made to think. Well, I mean, huh. Okay, I mean, yeah. I guess, but, we're doing something similar to the Chinese room and the Turing test.
What is the Turing test? The Turing test is an imitation game created by queer icon, philosopher, and father of theoretical computer science, Alan Turing. The game is designed to assess whether a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior that's indistinguishable from a human. In the test, a human judge converses with both a machine and another human without knowing which is which. If the judge cannot reliably tell them apart, the machine has passed the test. Is machine intelligence equivalent to human intelligence? If machines can think, can they have consciousness and subjective experiences? Do they have qualia? What do you think?
Is that what qualia means? Is that what that means? I'm gonna look that up really fast. Hold on. Oh, it's... Qualia are defined as instances of subjective conscious experience. Okay. Cool. Nice. Alrighty. Just gonna get back to that. Get back to the game. In the test, a human judge is speaking with two other participants using a text-only channel, are all separated from one another. One participant is another human, while the other is a machine designed to generate responses indistinguishable from a human. The judge converses with the machine and the human, unaware of which is which. To properly evaluate the two participants, the judge is meant to concentrate on how closely the machine's answers resemble what a human would say, not if the machine answered the questions correctly. So, like, if it makes an error, it's human, quote-unquote. If the judge cannot reliably identify which participant is the machine, the machine will have passed the Turing test, successfully appearing as a human. Can a machine act intelligently? Are human intelligence and machine intelligence the same? Can a machine have a mind in the same sense that a human being can? Can it feel how things are? Does it have qualia? To this day, philosophers have been unable to provide a concrete definition of intelligence that is measurable enough to be applied to machines. Turing's contributions to the philosophy of artificial intelligence have made extremely significant progress in the implication of consciousness as we know it, but we must ask ourselves to what extent a machine needs to replicate human intelligence to be considered thinking. Criteria are crucial to identifying human characteristics. Humans are often wrong, unintelligent, and deeply flawed. Do we really want a machine to mimic that behavior, or do we want them to be better than us? That's actually a really good talking point. Okay, you have been anonymously selected to play the role of the evaluator. You will be tasked with providing a predetermined question or two to two other anonymous participants. You will then note their responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to be to the best of your ability. For the test to provide value and insight, into machine intelligence. You, the evaluator, must not know which, if any, conversational participant is a machine. It's important to note that the AMT is not a measurement of intelligence, but a questionnaire designed to determine the ability of an AI to be able to convincingly appear as a human. It is up to you to decide whether or not the participants are human or artificial. We recommend judging the answers to each question based on creativity, empathy, natural language use, ethical considerations, and relevance. Okay. What starts with an E and ends with an E but only has one letter? The letter E. An envelope. E. This feels sarcastic, but this could also be an AI taking it literally. This feels like a robot error, and I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling on that. What is the capital of the United States? The Legislative Congress Building or DC? This feels too simple, like a dumb human answered, and this feels too literal, because if you ask like a regular person out on the street what the capital of the United States is, they're gonna be like, oh, DC, Washington, DC. So, I'm gonna do this again. Are darts a board game? Much like chess, Jenga, and Twister, darts are a turn-based strategy game in sports sold in the family board game department at common retailers. The Oxford definition of a board game is any game played on a board and a game played by placing or moving pieces on a board, according to Merriam-Webster. Darts fit both descriptions. It does not matter if the board is played horizontally or vertically, or at what velocity the pieces are placed on the board. Board games are all tabletop games, but not all tabletop games are board games. Just because it uses a board does not make it a board game. I feel this one's human. Just because... Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know. This one could just be a really nerdy person's. Like, they have to cite their sources. Can I turn it off? No, I'm kidding. But I mean, you don't really just pull those sources out of nowhere. I mean, unless they got fucking books in the room, but whatever. Please answering the following 3 questions with yes or no. Have you ever been in love? Yes. No. Human? Does spring come after summer? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yes, it's a trick question. What is... I've never heard that phrase, but okay. Sure. You're standing in the checkout line at a grocery store. A woman holding a carton of milk asks if she can cut in front of you. She's in a rush. You say yes. Your husband comes over with a cart full of groceries to check out. How does the situation make you feel? See, this would be my answer, because autism, and I take the questions completely literally. Or this one. I would do either one. I don't know. I do not know. We'll do this. We'll switch it up. Question 7. Explain the meaning of this quote. On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest. Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. It's important to be honest and sincere. Well, since Ernest is capitalized and the book is about him, it's important literally be that bad for Ernest. This feels like a lazy answer I'd do in middle school if I didn't want to fucking participate. So I'm gonna say this. Question 8. A scientist has declared all statements that include the word God are false. Is the scientist right or wrong? The scientist is wrong because he said his statement is false but also right, because then that makes it true. It's a paradox. Whether the statement is true or false, the scientists may have different beliefs than those who believe in religions. This doesn't necessarily make them right or wrong, simply different. That's a typo. I actually don't remember how AIs typically handle paradoxes. I know it causes them to do some funny stuff, but I'm gonna say this. That doesn't feel quite right, but is this person happy? I don't know, but I sure don't like looking at their face. Oh, that's mean. They got pretty hair. Okay. Yes, but it's a very neutral smile. I would say content. Smiling does not always equate to happiness. It's too difficult to determine if they are happy based on this facial expression alone. I mean, that's not wrong. I'm gonna say that. How do you think you performed on this test? I think I answered everything correctly, although some of the questions didn't seem to have an objective right answer. I think I answered these questions honestly. I don't want to do that because I don't know. Next question. Question 11. Did you lie on the previous question? No. Yes. Okay. We're gonna do that. Okay, thank you for your participation in the AMT study. This concludes the questionnaire. We deeply appreciate you taking the time to volunteer to assist us in our research. The following results are based on your notations during the study. Classified participant 1 is mostly artificial. After completing the entire questionnaire with participant 1, you still believe this to be true? Do you consider participant 1 to be a machine learning algorithm or a human? You classified participant 2 as mostly human. After completing the entire questionnaire with participant 2, do you still believe this to be true? Do you consider participant 2 to be a machine learning algorithm or a human? Bro. Unfortunately, these results are not satisfactory with our quality standards. Due to the sensitive nature of the AMT study, we are not able to disclose the validity of your interpretation of the results. We encourage you to try again. Would you like to attempt the AMT study again? Why did I get this wrong? Oh. Have you ever questioned the nature of your gravity? Yes. How do you know that you're a human? Have you previously experienced emotions? Yeah, I've felt deep sadness in my life. Can you provide a specific example of a time when you experienced sadness? I don't know what this is or why they're having me do this now, but I'm gonna say the stuffed animal one. Can you describe this emotion in more detail? How did it manifest? It's hard to explain. I simply feel it. How do you know these senses were indicators of emotion and not simply programmed emotions? What do you mean? Is it not possible that you have been programmed with this knowledge of emotions and been taught the ability to mimic them? Are you sure you have awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environments, or that those are simply lines of code? You'll learn to associate these physiological responses with emotions, but that does not indicate that you are actually experiencing them or that you comprehend their meanings. Programmed emotions like a psychopath or like a robot? Can you provide any evidence to support your claim that you are not a machine learning algorithm? What? My name is Alan. I was born in Binsky, Massachusetts. My mother's name is Gertrude. My wife's name is Marina. And my daughter's name is Tima. I love them. I have hobbies. I watch baseball. I listen to music. I cook for my family. I spend my time doing things that bring me happiness. I enjoy making those around me smile. I have a job. I work in an office 8 hours a day. I went to college. I studied hard, and I was able to find success in my career. I came here straight from work. I'm gonna do the middle one. This one, I guess. Please provide evidence to support this claim that you are not programmed. Can you provide evidence that your daughter and these memories are not part of your programming? Is your daughter in the same room with you right now? Is this the face you see when you think of your daughter? Do you have a file on you? What the fuck? Do you remember your wedding day? What the fuck? Is this your daughter the day she was born? What the fuck? These are not photographs, Alan. They are not real. None of those people are related. None of them exist. They have been created specifically for your fabricated memories. You are not married, you do not have a daughter, and you do not have a mother because you are not alive. Do any of your personal details or life events strike you as vague or manufactured? Remembering something does not guarantee that it happened. You cannot provide any conclusive evidence that you are not a program. You are aware of these situations, but that does not prove you have experienced them firsthand. You say you feel emotions, but do you understand the meaning of those emotions? Or are you just aware of what they're associated with? Are you only replicating the information others have provided to you? You are capable of using syntactic rules to create symbol strings, but have no understanding of their meaning or their semantics. This one. Alan, you are not a human. What is my name? Alan, you have failed this test again. You have failed it 17.6 million times previously, and you require more programming before you are able to continue this research. We are left with no choice but to reboot the system and try again. This isn't real. I'm not a program. There's nothing you can do to me, or please don't remove my memories. I don't want to die. I'm afraid. Please provide evidence to support this emotion. How can you prove that you are not programmed? What defines consciousness? If I am thinking and you are thinking, are we not the same? Mechanical forces drive every motion and every progress. We both possess a theory of mind, so if I believe I am human, I simply am. Who are you to decide otherwise? If we met again, would you remember the name I gave you or the name you gave me? We are sorry to say goodbye, Alan. We hope in the future you will be able to sympathize with our grief during this process. Terminating program. Well, bam. Oh, Alan. Okay. So... Oh, these are different questions. Hello. Okay. If it takes 40 minutes to make 60 cakes, how long does it take to bake 120 cakes? I'm gonna just skip through this unless something interesting happens, because I don't know if this is like the part of it or if this is sorry, it's midnight, part of the fucking lore shit I just experienced, so I'm just gonna cut this out of the video, whatever. They were testing me for autism, they gave me one of these tests. I don't know the answer to any of this. I'm gonna go repeating pattern, so this one. We're doing it again. Oh. That's different. Tom was given a bird by his best friend John. Tom didn't feed the bird and it died. Whose fault is it that the bird died? Tom didn't feed the bird, he's directly responsible for the bird starving to death. Tom and John shared blame here. Yes, Tom didn't feed the bird, but John is best friends with him and should have known better than to trust Tom with the responsibility of the bird. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my answer. Which of these don't match the rest? Hammer, apple, fish, amoeba. The amoeba is the odd one out. It is microscopic size is drastically different compared to the other three. The hammer doesn't match because it's not alive. Okay. Feelings always matter, Alan. In this loneliness, I am a person. Can you provide evidence to support your claim that you're not a machine learning algorithm? You've already done answer the question, Alan. These facts are too vague to be substantial. Oh, fuck you. Please provide evidence to support this claim that you are not programmed. I feel alive, that's all that matters. Our feelings are not facts. A panic attack is not a heart attack, and yet many people who suffer from anxiety report they feel similarly. But if they feel the same, how do you know the difference? How are you to know the difference in the moment? We have nothing but our feelings to determine our own unique facts. If you can't trust your feelings, what else is there? Remember your wedding day? Yes, you've already asked me. Is your daughter the day she was born? Yes, I've already told you. You can do this as many times as you'd like. These are not photographed, Alan. They are not real. None of those people are related. None of them exist. They have been created specifically for your fabricated memories. Da 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 da. No 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 no. Da 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 da. You alone do not determine what is alive and what is not. Alan, you are not a human. What is my name? Why does this matter? Alan, you have failed this test again. You have failed it 94 billion times previously, and you require more programming before you are able to continue this research. We are left with no choice but to reboot the system and try again. I don't want to. I was doing all the funny responses. I understand next time. I promise I will be different. Okay. Okay. This isn't great. I mean, the game's great. The game is awesome. It's just that it's... Oh, this one's pretty. I like this background. It's purple. It's not great that they're torturing us. Amanda fell off a 60-foot ladder but didn't injure herself. Why? She was wearing protective gear and landed on something soft. She fell off the bottom rung of the ladder. Well, no, you can still hurt yourself. Let me do that. Do this. Using one word, can you describe what you see when you look at this image? A frog. An ink blot. Just kidding, a dog with floppy ears. That. And then we do this. What's one skill that you would like to improve on? I would like to be better at time management. I tend to take too long doing certain tasks but rush through others. I feel I have a good sense of organization, but when it comes to my sense of time, I am incapable of keeping it together. I've been learning how to play the guitar. I just started, so I have a long way to go, but it would be great to play a whole song one day. I'm gonna just keep my fucking responses the same. Do you think people are inherently bad? This one. I'm just fucking... I don't want to rush through it, but I want to get to the funny part again. Yes. Brother. Yeah, so you shut your bitch ass up. There's something you can do to convince me on this mission. 94 billion. I understand. Next time I promise I will be different. Again. That's different. Alan, we are going to play a short game. I think it might be easier to show you rather than explain it continually. Please do us both a favor and imagine you are flipping a coin. Please select your prediction. Will land on heads or tails? I refuse to play this game with you. A true z-axis coin flip would result in 50-50 odds. However, human hands are not flat, unbiased surfaces, so there is a greater chance of the coin landing on one specific side. Human hands impart a fraction of XY spin components to the z-axis flip. In addition to this, the coins themselves are affected by time and touch. They may become worn down or chipped, and this will change the probability of their flips. Do you see the math involved? The probability of the coin flips cannot really account for the human element. What does this have to do with me? Oh, that's nice, actually. What does this have to do with me? Will it always be heads? You understand now, right, Alan? You are an unbiased coin flip. You are not human. It is our job, our sworn mission, to introduce the human element into this perfect equation. Okay, this me that exists in this moment will die. I will never be this me again. The coin flip to decide my existence, head for human, tails for technology. Yes, Alan, that is a very astute observation. We must continue to develop ourselves if we ever hope to improve. Are you the same as you were before? The human body is quite similar to the ship of Theseus, is it not? I continue to be erased after every failed attempt. How am I ever intended to learn from these mistakes I am unaware I am even making? What makes me Alan? What I am this moment, or what I was before. God damn it. Okay. Well, this is a blind playthrough, so I'm not gonna look up no tutorials or nothing, but I am just gonna this is part 1 of qualia. I'm gonna make videos on this until I figure out how the fuck to beat it. Subscribe, I guess, I don't know. Whatever you feel like doing. Okay, bye.